Heathcliff was a ragged gypsy boy, a vagabond castaway child, poor and fatherless. He was dirty, and his dark bangs fell like a colt's mane. He was patient and quiet, but he was sullen, hardened perhaps to ill treatment. He had trouble showing gratitude, but he was as uncomplaining as a lamb. Hindley had him flogged. Heathcliff becomes a fierce, pitiless, surly, and wolfish man, grim and saturnine, whose voice was deep and foreign. His basilisk eyes were deep-set and black, and the brows were thick. His cheeks were sallow and his cannibal teeth sharp and white. He was dignified, half-civilized even, but he was a moral poison, a bad influence, worse than a brute, a vulgar young ruffian. His passion was uncontrollable and his emotions were violent. He was a churl, as rough as a saw's edge and hard as a whinstone. He was vindictive, a sneaking rascal seeking to inflict misery, an evil beast that prowls. Heathcliff was a hellish villain, a devil, a fiend, a monster, and may hell have his soul. To the ghost of Catherine he cries, "Be with me always. Take any form. Drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you." Oh God, it is unutterable. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul. Heathcliff came from a sector of English society known as the Romani. Also known as Romanical travelers, the first of these peoples began arriving in England around the 16th century. They were not well received, and in 1530, Henry VIII banned the Romani from entering the country. Those who were already present were pressured to leave, but the endeavor failed. Mary I allowed some leniency for the Romani, provided they abandon their naughty, idle, and ungodly life and company. Newer laws allowed Romanis born on English soil to gain citizenship, but during this time they were nonetheless marginalized. It meant that the Romani often had to live by illegal means, the raiding of hen houses, the pilfering of food, avoiding authorities as much as possible. During Heathcliff's time, it was risky for the English subject to associate with the Romani. Mr. Earnshaw's actions seem brave in light of this fact, and Hindley's behavior is a stand-in for British attitudes on the matter. The Romani situation is to be noted as well in Jane Austen's Emma, published in 1815. Harriet Smith and Miss Bickerton encounter a party of gypsies, and there was a child who came towards them to beg. They come to be associated with such a set of people in the neighborhood, who are none other than the Romani. Wuthering Heights references this set of people when Isabella, as a child, says to her father with reference to Heathcliff as a boy, "Put him in the cellar, Papa. He's exactly like the son of the fortune-teller that stole my tame pheasant. Isn't he, Edgar?" This one quote alone speaks multitudes about the plight of the Romani. They have to steal for survival. They are different because of their beliefs. And likewise, they are to be put away, out of view from the eyes of society. We can thank David Cressy for giving us a better understanding of England's Romani population.
Despite accusations of idleness and fecklessness, the Romani were mostly busy. Far from being mindless wanderers, they were purposeful travelers who filled a niche in the economy of itinerancy. The men handled logistics, and dealt in animals and games of chance, while gypsy women earned pennies from fortune-telling. Common folk were said to have flocked to them when they arrived in their midst, though local authorities disapproved of their predations. Even in jail, one Jacobean writer reported, certain gypsies contrived to exploit the simplicity of many of the townsmen's wives, daughters, and servants with fraudulent divinations. People allegedly wondered at them and gave them money, sent them meat every day to dinner and supper, saying it was pity such skillful people as they should not be provided for. A generosity not extended to common vagrants. Unlike other itinerants and the ordinary roving poor, the gypsies owned horses, baggage, and supplies of goods and money, and were rarely associated with begging. If it is true that gypsies sometimes picked pockets, then that was work too, as some modern Roma attest.
While we don't know how Heathcliff came to be separated from this ostracized segment of society, we do know that he was severely abused as a child, considering that Hindley had him flogged, and Joseph might thrash Heathcliff till his arm ached. Heathcliff felt wronged by what happened to him with regard to his relationship with Catherine. And though it doesn't entirely justify the nature of his subsequent actions, it may be safe to assume that Heathcliff's love for Catherine was as exceptional as anyone could ever desire from their significant other. I am Heathcliff. Have you read Wuthering Heights? What did you think about Heathcliff? Let us know in the comments. If this video has been helpful or informative in any way, please consider clicking the like button and/or subscribing. And thank you for watching.